It was supposed to be the happiest day of our lives. Friends and family had traveled from across the country to celebrate with us. The ceremony was just minutes away from beginning. No one imagined a neighbor would soon try to ruin everything. Laughter filled the garden as guests found their seats. Children played across the lawn, while photographers captured every smile. The music created a peaceful atmosphere that everyone enjoyed. Everything felt absolutely perfect. As the ceremony was about to begin, an angry voice interrupted the celebration. A nearby resident complained that the music and gathering were disturbing the neighborhood. Daniel calmly walked over to hear her concerns. He hoped a respectful conversation would solve the problem. Instead of discussing the situation, Susan reached for her phone. She reported that a large disturbance was taking place nearby. The guests looked at one another in complete disbelief. Daniel quietly reassured everyone that the ceremony would continue peacefully. A few minutes later, police vehicles entered the venue entrance. The flashing lights immediately caught everyone's attention. Susan smiled, convinced the officers would shut the wedding down. She had no idea that the groom standing before her was someone they all knew very well. The officers calmly walked toward the ceremony with professional expressions. They looked around before speaking to anyone. Nothing about the wedding appeared dangerous or disorderly. It looked like a peaceful celebration surrounded by family and friends. Susan insisted the wedding was disturbing the neighborhood. She demanded the officers stop the ceremony immediately. The officers listened carefully without interrupting her. When she finished speaking, they politely asked to hear the groom's side of the story. As the sergeant looked at the groom, he paused for a moment. A smile appeared on his face as he recognized Daniel immediately. He greeted him with professional respect. Susan's confident expression quickly turned into confusion. The officers addressed Daniel by his official title. Only then did Susan realize who the groom really was. The atmosphere became completely silent. Everything she believed was about to happen changed in an instant. After confirming there was no emergency, the officers wished the couple well. They congratulated Daniel and Olivia before returning to their patrol cars. The music began again as guests applauded with relief. What started as an interruption became a reminder that respect and patience matter more than assumptions. Just as the officers prepared to leave, another police vehicle arrived. A senior captain stepped out and immediately recognized Daniel. He walked over with a respectful handshake and a warm smile. The guests realized this wasn't an ordinary groom standing before them. Susan's confidence disappeared almost instantly. She realized the situation wasn't unfolding the way she expected. The officers remained polite, but their attention shifted toward understanding the full story. Every guest quietly watched what would happen next. Several guests explained exactly what had happened. Each person described the same calm and respectful conversation. No one had seen any disturbance or threatening behavior. The officers appreciated hearing independent accounts. The wedding coordinator offered security camera footage from the venue. The video showed a peaceful celebration from beginning to end. It confirmed that the ceremony had remained calm the entire time. The evidence removed any remaining doubts. The captain calmly explained why officers respond based on the information they receive. He reminded everyone that emergency calls should describe real emergencies. The conversation stayed respectful from beginning to end. Susan quietly listened without arguing. Daniel never raised his voice or showed any anger. He simply explained that respect is earned through understanding. His calm response surprised many of the guests. Sometimes patience speaks louder than arguments. With everything resolved, the ceremony finally continued. The music filled the garden once again. Guests smiled as the couple returned to the altar. The interruption had only strengthened everyone's appreciation for the moment. Daniel looked into Olivia's eyes as they exchanged heartfelt vows. Every word carried even more meaning after everything that had happened. Family members smiled through happy tears. It became a moment no one would ever forget. As the ceremony ended, the guests rose to their feet. Applause echoed across the entire venue. The difficult moment had transformed into an unforgettable celebration. Love and respect had overcome misunderstanding. What began as an unexpected interruption ended with a joyful celebration. The wedding became memorable for reasons no one had imagined. It reminded everyone to choose understanding before making assumptions. Some of life's happiest endings begin with the greatest challenges.